Anaheim to 2000. What a time to be alive. Things were quite a bit different. We were just a couple of weeks removed from the whole Y2K scare. We had the legendary Art Ekman and David Bailey as commentators, and of course everybody was still on two strokes. So in this video today, I want to break down this epic race that happened in the 125 class. I feel like this is one of the better races of the time. But in particular, I want to draw attention to this massive quad on the track, and in particular, the way that Danny Smith is hitting it. I just think it's absolutely nuts. I've talked about this briefly before, but I really don't think I did it justice, so I wanted to come in here and make another video about it and really tell the story behind what we're watching. So if you guys hang around for the end, you will see an epic finish, and you will see Danny Smith sending his bike to the moon to try to win the race. Definitely an epic scene. But along the way, I'm going to kind of break down everything that's happening. So without further ado, let's get into it.
It's get nervous time. The main event in round number 2 from Anaheim, California for the 125s is just about ready to go. The 30-second board is up. A big crash with Pingree going into the berm.
It's Pingree, Casey Lytle looked like got in there.
And Schnell, Casey Lytle and Greg Schnell, 3 of the favorites.
So now Billy Payne of Pro Circuit, number 195, inherits the lead. Looks like his teammate Talon Vohland may jump in there.
So as they line up at the gate for the main events, the heat race winners David Pingree and Casey Lytle both get off to a pretty good start, and they're both fighting for the whole shot, and they both end up going down. This would hand the early lead to Billy Payne, and then Talon Vohland would be right behind him in second. As they made their way around the opening lap, Talon would make a pretty big mistake and drop back, and eventually Danny Smith would work his way into second, and they would all kind of settle in. Eventually Talon would work his way back up to third. So you had Billy Payne, Danny Smith, and then Talon Vohland. Unfortunately for Billy Payne, he would end up going down and giving the lead up to Danny Smith. So just to give you guys some perspective on what's going on in Danny's head right now, he's coming off of a 4th place finish the week before. We're at the 2nd round, so he's thinking, man, if I can win this race, I'll probably be the points leader. So he's doing his best to lock in, and then behind him we have Vohland. So just some perspective on what could potentially be going through his head. He raced Supercross in the early 90s, and then he went to the GPs for about 10 years. Then he came back in 1999 and raced just a couple of Supercrosses and then the motocross series, and now he's back full-time racing Supercross. He had just switched to Kawasaki. This is his 2nd race on the Kawasaki, and he had just finished 7th the weekend before. So the fact that he's finishing in a podium position right now is absolutely great, and he's probably like, dude, I just got to bring this thing home. As the race moves forward, little by little, Danny does start to pull away. He's a little bit faster in the whoops, and throughout the day, he's been jumping this quad jump on the track, which is pretty massive, and most of the other 125 guys are just only tripling it. Talon stays rock solid though in second and just keeps doing his laps.
Pump up right a little tight for a couple laps before he recovered, and that's when he dropped back. He should be able to hang on to the lead here unless David Pingree pulls something out of the bag.
Danny Smith working very hard on his starts in the offseason as we take a look at Talon Vohland in 2nd place.
Actually, that would work out really well for him because Danny Smith ended up tucking the front and going down, and even though he did get up pretty quickly, he did give up the lead to Talon. So things were shaping up to be pretty interesting because Danny wasn't that far back. There was still a few laps left, and he did seem to have a speed advantage.
Event with 5 laps to go. Talon Vohland, his brother Tyson, a winner here in '86. Last year, he got injured in practice before the season started. Actually, it was right before the first race of the season, the day before, and he was out for the entire Supercross season. Mostly known as an outdoor motocross rider, coming back over from the GPs in Europe. It had been a long time since he had seen a Supercross track, David Bailey.
Yes, it has, and he has worked hard at it, obviously. To find himself in the lead here. His timing looks much better.
Ultimately, Talon rode really well, and it got down to the last lap, and he was still in the lead with a decent gap.
Boy, this is nervous time.
Vohland in the lead, the last lap, but look at the interval right there with Danny Smith. Just a blink of the eye, and Smith will take over.
The only place I can see Smith with an opportunity to get by is over that quadruple jump. If he can get close enough, he can make the pass right there, and there wouldn't be enough time for Talon to retaliate.
It seemed like pretty much everybody knew where Danny's opportunity would be, and it was going to be on that quad jump. As they closed in on the quad, everyone held their breath to see what would happen, and I can't describe this any better than Bailey and Ekman, so I'm just going to let this play out, and you guys can just enjoy the moment.
Then they'll get to the quadruple.
Talon Vohland holding on. Here's the corner. Let's see what happens now with Danny Smith. Will he make his move right now? He goes for the quad, picks up some space, just on his tail, but not. Quite close enough before the lead. Into the inside. Danny Smith. Here comes Fallon. Talon Vohland, the checkered flag, and a great race to the checkers.
So as you guys saw there, Smith did end up sending the quad. It did work out for him, and he went to the inside, but Vohland, in a classic move, kind of saw it coming. He heard him coming. He squared up the turn, cut back under, and ended up taking home the win. So definitely some pretty good racing, but a couple things that I thought were really worth noting is the fact that these guys were jumping this high and this far on that suspension on 125 two-strokes in the early 2000s. The amount of risk that Smith must have been taking if there's any type of bike issue, if there's a carburetor issue, if the bike bogs or anything goes wrong, is just pretty wild to me. I know that our sport's dangerous, it's always been dangerous, but this is just a different kind of dangerous. I also think it's interesting looking back at these older style tracks, and there is a little bit of ruts, but generally the jump faces are hard packed all the way across and just different. So anyways, I thought this was a really cool moment. I wanted to try to draw your guys' attention to this particular race with this particular jump. I really enjoy trying to draw attention to little moments in motocross history, telling little stories. That's why I've done so many story videos before. I hope to be able to bring you guys more things like the DG interview that I did, and just more cool stories like this in the future. If you guys have any suggestions for what you would like to see next, let me know down in the comments below and let me know what you thought of that jump. I think it was pretty nuts. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and play the interview with Talon Vohland. I thought it was pretty cool.
Man, Talon, I got to tell you, I'm probably dating both of us here right now. But the last time you won one of these races, who did you beat? Jeremy McGrath 10 years ago from this year, you know. And well, I can't tell you, my goal this year wasn't necessarily winning the title, just winning one race, trying to get a top 3 overall, and I didn't know it would come to you in my second race, you know. I was so smart and consistent. When the race came to me, then I gave it everything I had. So, oh man, it's a great feeling, you know. I can't explain it.
Well, tell me one more thing. Tell me about the last turn. That was close.
Man, I knew he was doing the quad. I heard him coming down the inside, so it was a gamble. I let him come there, and then I tried to get a good drive, and sure enough, it worked. You know, for me, I know it's only one supercross win, but for me to come back from Europe, 10 years not riding supercross, and achieve this goal is something so special to me I'll never forget this day.
So if you guys made it this far, thank you guys for watching. It really means a lot, and I will see you in the next video.